undying promise that we just might carry on in a song. Pray don't forget us, your bygone kin. With one world's end does a new begin, and should our souls scatter unto the wind, still we shall live on.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to. Well, we took a little bit of a break, right, last week. And tonight we have the British Grand Prix of VL F1. I'm Alex, and here with me, surprisingly, is also another Alex. Hello, Alex. I'm Alex. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you very much. Didn't want to be sat here for this race. I wanted to be in my car, but as circumstances have it, I am sat casting it with you.
It's a shame, isn't it? It's like a punishment. But
Yeah, so the entire Red Bull project are now sitting out on the sidelines, so we'll have to see what goes on without us.
maybe can you explain what's going on? Why is no one from the Red Bull team racing tonight?
So, as far as I understand, Law and Miffy are Law's having PC issues. Miffy is having internet issues. Travis hasn't got the game downloaded, and my steering wheel rig completely exploded during the practice session.
I've been told to insert some gay jokes here, but I will not do it. If you've seen the picture, you can do it for yourself, right?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, as I said, there was sadly no stream last week. We were in Portugal. I wasn't able to catch it. I've heard there were a lot of safety cars, Alex. What happened
Yeah.
there?
We're in a slightly more eastern Portugal, which was Hungary. But it was there were a fair few safety cars, with one starting on lap one, which really shook up the field. There was a crash before turn one even happened, with Shadow Hopper and I think it was Dormin getting involved at a collision on the start straight. Um, from there, it was a pretty stale race. From what I understand, Carlos was definitely a cork for a lot of drivers, holding them up and not letting them past. Towards the end, there was a shake-up as the drivers who decided to pit for softs under the second safety car, their tires really started to fall off, and it all ended up with Sonny winning the race with fastest lap.
All right, important question because this is a Codemasters game. Were any of the safety cars bugged?
Not that I noticed. They all seemed relatively normal, which is a big surprise and a welcome relief, if you ask me.
Maybe it's a new trend. I don't want to jinx it. All right, heading into tonight's race, before we do that, obviously qualifying is hopefully starting soon because we were running a bit late, but that's not our fault. So, Travis not here. He's first in the driver's standings, but Sonny obviously trying to overtake him. He needs to get third. I think if I'm correct here, and then I looked at the standings, and I'm surprised to see Glenn up there in third. What happened with him?
I think Glenn's just been consistently getting the points, whereas drivers like myself, Crispy, and Somther, have we have all had very good finishes. Um, a couple of podiums sprinkled between those drivers. Glenn's the one, he's been consistently getting the results, getting points week in, week out. And I think that's the difference that's put him up into P3 above the other drivers in the standings.
Yeah, sources, Credden, told me that he never finished above P5, so consistency is really key here. 1 point behind him, Crispy, the best driver in the whole Mercedes project. Shout out to Somther and Brandon especially here. And you 2 points behind Glenn. Obviously, you're not racing tonight, so no chance for you to overtake him. But other than that, yeah, there are a lot of drivers, a lot of new drivers this season. So I'm curious, and also a lot of shakeups because over these reserve drivers, stand-ins, and whatsoever. So not entirely sure who's racing for which team tonight, but we will take a look when we head into qualifying.
Yeah, it's Definitely gone are the old days of the top 2 drivers already being 100 points above the rest, then the next 3 having a massive gap as well. The field, even what is it, 8-9 rounds into the race, is still very close, with a nice even spread of points between all the drivers. So it's shaping up to make some really good racing, and it's promising for the rest of the season.
How long you've been racing VL now, Alex?
I've been racing since season 2, so I missed the first season with when there were about 12 drivers every week.
Yeah, it was interesting back then. Would you say the average skill level has increased over the years, over the seasons?
Oh, definitely. We've seen drivers like Sonny, Crispy, Somther all come in later seasons and really start pushing the sort of older veteran drivers to either go faster in Travis's case or down the field, further down the field in Hodgson's case.
Yeah, but he just washed up, no?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, bad. And to continue the plan, do you think the quality level of the game has increased over the seasons, Alex?
Oh, definitely not. I mean, if you told me this game was from 2005, I would have thought I would have expected better quality, let alone what we've got now. So,
Speaking of quality, do we have any information about start of qualifying?
it looks like we are just getting into it. So we need to give drivers a chance to strap into their cars and get ready for what hopefully should be quite an exciting qualifying session with a lot of drivers missing. So it's a lot of what we hope is a closer field.
Do you have any what tips or strategy can you give away for qualifying? What are we will see that the track map later, but what are the crucial points on the track where you can actually win a lot of time to put yourself in a very good position to win the race?
So I would say the 2 DRS zones, very strong DRS zones here, are probably the best places to overtake. I wouldn't try anything spicy into the corners like Maggots and Beckett's. But other than that, it's a pretty promising track for overtaking, so we should get some good racing. And as I say that, we are looking to get into qualifying. Quali 1 is just about to start, so we shall go into that shortly.
Kind of fun.
Hello, welcome to Silverstone, located in the United Kingdom. It is a lovely track, a nice dry weather set up to have today for the qualifying and race. We start on the Hamilton Straight for this track, going through Sector 1, where we enter the first DRS straight on the Wellington Straight. coming round through Brooklands and Luffield, up through Woodcote, around what used to be the old start-finish straight, through Copse, the famous corners of Maggots and Beckett's, down into the second and final DRS straight, round through Stowe. We hit the Vale chicane to end what is a very historical track, and one that we have a lot of drivers loving to come and race here. So it should be interesting to see what we get today.
Q1 is already on the way. We see the yellow flag in Sector 3 already, close by an Aston Martin, just going slow, I think. While we follow Monty here on his outlap. Obviously, the drivers have a lot of time. Only one lonely and very sad bird will not make it through to Q2. While the others can fight for it. Brandon, obviously, home race. Not sure how much he's actually looking forward to it, considering how he's been talking about the state of the game, etc., etc. We touched that topic already in the past few weeks, but he's here, so he's probably going to make the best of it. The first time.
Yeah, with a provisional 127.6. It's interesting what strategies people are going to do. As far as I understand, the standard strategy is just a medium soft or soft medium, depending on what you do your lap time on in Q2. But we see times like Capyro Fire's 129.5. We'll see that time come tumbling down by the end of qualifying. So it's going to be an interesting one, and it looks like a bit of interesting information that Tarachi is coming out in Q1 on the medium compound tyres, which signals that he wants to start the race on softs, and he's just trying to look to get through on the mediums and then run softs for the rest of qualifying.
So what for time are we looking at? What is a good quality time here, Alex, on this track?
I would probably say the low to mid 126s is a decent lap. We see Sonny right now with a 127.1. We know times in Quali 1 are usually not the most representative, where people are in general taking it safer, more getting a lap in, making sure you're safe, and then Q2 and Q3 is where you really start to see the drivers push it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, especially for drivers like Sonny, who's one of the top two drivers here in the L. The strategy to not pull what Copy just did a few minutes earlier, spin around and possibly crash, and then you won't make it into the next round. Because realistically speaking, Sonny will contest for pole here. Yeah.
Definitely. He's exactly 4/10 off his closest rival. So it's I'm hoping to see someone take it to him this race, and especially this qualifying. But if he keeps setting times like that are that far above the rest of the grid, it's going to be hard to see people get in close to him without a significant mistake from Sonny.
With Travis gone, do you think Sonny has any actual rivals here in this qualifying session?
I do think so. I think drivers like Tarachi can pull a very good lap out. Dormin has been a big surprise since he's started racing. He's really started to push Travis and Sonny, not only during qualifying but during the race as well. And we know drivers like Crispy and Gaben are also capable of setting really quick lap times. So they're the drivers I am looking to upset Sonny off the top of his throne.
Fair enough. We'll follow Tarachi here with a 127.8 on his mediums. Now swapping. Yeah, there he is. As you said, he's probably looking to start on softs. Why does he want to do that? Does he just want to get off the starting line very, very quickly, then try to run away with it, and then later on he obviously has to put the mediums on, right? Is that his strategy?
That's a possibility. There is also, if he thinks the soft mediums aren't going to make it, he wants to maybe force the soft hard. Because the pit lane here, pardon me, is a 37-mile-an-hour speed limit, and it is such a long pit lane. Yes, you do skip out 2 corners, but you lose so much time coming into the pit. You really want to avoid coming into that pit lane as much as possible. Free pit stops are very valuable here, so anything under a virtual safety car or a full safety car, really valuable. So I think he's taking the least risky option of starting on softs, and then he can choose what tyres he wants to go on based on the race conditions.
Yeah, and looking at the history of this track, a safety car, let's say, it's not very unlikely, right? There have been some incidents. The most classic one for me is the Law and Credden pit stop one, which was really, really hilarious. But there have been a few others one as well. In real life of one last season, of course, everyone remembers Hamilton and Verstappen going the corner. Yeah.
It's one of the classic tracks that does require a lot of skill and mastery to keep your car in a straight line going around the track. Gaben just coming in with a 127.5, still just under 4 tenths off Sonny, but he is on slightly older tyres, so we'll have to see. That should definitely be him safe for Q1, but we'll have to see what that means for the rest of his qualifying, if he can improve that time towards Sonny.
Now we're following Hodgson here. Hasn't set a time yet. He should make it through. Now, on the long straight, Hodgson, yeah, as you said, he's a veteran driver. I called him washed up. Maybe it's rude, who knows. I'm hoping, or not hoping, that's another. I'm expecting some interesting pit strategies by our Ferrari boys, especially the lead strategist, Scott Bodson here. And maybe it's gonna screw him up. Who knows? Going into negative now. Following, I think, now for Romeo. I'm not sure who that could be. So far, oh, yeah, that's Grass Hodgson. So,
in the pre-show, we called Glenn the sort of master of consistency, really racking up the points, making sure he's consistent in the points. Maybe not necessarily the fastest all the time, but he's always there. Hodgson, in my opinion, is the exact opposite this season, where he can have the pace and he can set a quick lap, but equally, as we say that, he goes P8 just behind Shadow Hopper, 8 tenths off the lead. As I was saying, Hodgson really can have one really fast lap, one really awful lap. He is the master of inconsistency, which contrasts with his teammate, who is the master of consistency.
Yeah, and just goes ahead of Carlos, who you said probably the only driver on the grid who doesn't like this track. You pointed out that it needs a lot of skill to master this one, so maybe that's the reason. But
yeah, it's weird. Carlos does tend to favour the street circuits, so your Monacos, your Singapores, tracks like that. But for someone who loves tracks that really do test your skills, he doesn't seem to like Silverstone one bit. Even our resident Italian likes Silverstone, and that's saying something when he puts his biases aside.
I assume you like the track as well, right?
Yeah, I do. It's definitely not one of my best. I've had some good performances, some really bad performances here, but it is definitely a fun track to race. And if you look at the corner complex like Magnussen Beckett's, when you hit that right on a fast lap, it really does get the adrenaline rushing.
Fair enough. Never looking to improve his time here, just following his good old friend Dorman around, getting a slipstream. Hopefully. Yeah, take it. Crispy, the only one who hasn't set a time yet. Let's see if Neville can improve here. Last sector, last couple of corners. Wants to make it through into Q2.
Interesting that Crispy is starting on the mediums.
Oh, Tarachi strategy.
Well, we say that as Tarachi now comes out on the softs, which,
Okay.
in my opinion, is completely undoes the entire work of you now have wear on your mediums. You don't want to start the race on those if you can avoid it, but you are now taking a set of softs out of the tires you can use. So I think that is a really driver that's showing that he is unsure as to what to do, and he clearly isn't confident of getting through to Q2, despite currently being over 2 seconds quicker than the current knockout time.
Yeah, I would have said this is a really bad decision because if you look at it, as you just pointed out, he's 2 seconds faster than Navor, who's currently sitting in P15, and I assume Tarachi can count up to 16. So assumption, right? But you just actually waste a set of tires you could use in Q2, Q3. But I don't know, Shadowhopper is doing the sensible thing, retires the car in the pits, and now we follow Crispy, who had, well, he probably got slowed down or went off track, because 140 is not something we expect from this guy in the Williams here.
No, not at all. Even with the medium tires on, you should be doing a lot quicker than that. It's going to be interesting to see how many drivers do choose to retire early, or who are just going to sit it out. As we say, that Tarachi has gone P2 on the softs, now within 2/10 of Sonny, so he is starting to push that.
Yeah, but it doesn't change anything, Alex.
Yeah.
Like, it still doesn't make the decision a good one.
Yeah,
I mean,
as we say, he will pay for it come Q3 and the start of the race, because he is now going to have one set less when it comes to Q3, and he's probably only really going to get one hot lap in the final qualifying session.
Yeah.
We say that as Crispy currently sets purple middle sector on those medium tyres, which he means he's really gunning for this lap.
He's on mediums.
Yeah, hoping to sort of set the time in the blaze and maybe get Sonny a bit sweaty in his car. We say that he comes across the line and only goes P11, so despite that purple time in the in the middle sector, he must have lost a lot of time in either sector 1 or sector 3. Be interesting to see where that went.
Yeah, Crispy might have lost some seconds here, but Icarus lost his front wing. He follow him around. What?
Oh.
And he can't set another time, so like he has to go into the pits. He has to pray to God that he doesn't get overtaken.
Yeah, it looks like he will not get another lap time even if he was in the pits now and came out and magically repaired, he wouldn't get another lap time in, because if a fast lap is about, let's say, a mid 127 for a driver really gunning it, on your out lap, you don't really want to gun it. You don't want to risk spinning it. You don't want to risk losing your wing. So you do generally tend to go about 10 to 15 seconds slower on your out lap, and that's the leeway you need. So the current drivers who can set a lap, Hodgson is currently on an out lap.
Why is he out?
Crispy is still out on track, but I'm guessing he's looking to come in. This should be his in lap, and we've got Monty out on 5 lap old soft tyres. Oh, it looks like Crispy was on a hot lap, but it does look like he's invalidated and he's just coming in the pits. Now currently in the pit, so no one can really
Hodge, please go
set a
into the
fast
pit.
tire. So
Please. Oh my god.
Hodgson
Why? Why?
has made what I would like to call a questionable decision, despite being objectively safe and impossible to knock out,
And we have
risking
a
his
counter
car an extra set of tires to do one more lap in quali one.
Are these new softs or are these used ones?
Let me have a look. So
What? It's new softs. He's using new softs.
yeah, looking at this,
Oh my
Hodgson
god.
is on new softs, one
Jeez.
lap old.
Imagine if he crashes now.
Yeah, we know what this track can be.
Yeah.
You could be driving the safest in the world. If this track decides you want to spin into a wall, you are spinning into a wall.
Production, can we have a counter, please, for interesting decisions made by Scott Bosch? Because we are two now. Going out when you're objectively safe is number one, and then using a fresh set of soft tires, which you might want to have in Q2, Q3, depending how good you are, for nothing. And most hilarious scenario would be if he crashes outright. Second most hilarious, if he doesn't improve his time. That would be funny as well. But I don't know.
He's not the only driver that's had questionable decisions, with obviously the Tarachi and changing tires, and it's been a comedy of errors, really. I mean, he completes that lap for whatever unknown reason.
Good job. Good job.
So we'll have to see whether that pays off, I suppose. Not that it literally made any difference, but
I know a reason why he might have done that, Alex. Like he went into the main menu and bought himself a new helmet, right? And the only way, because he's not gonna get on the podium, right? So the only way to present his new helmet to the VL audience is to be the last one in qualifying. I mean, that makes sense, no? Right?
I mean, we have seen it a few times where drivers have come out. This was more back when Flyer used to regularly race in the league, where drivers would come out to extend their EP-ness and push themselves further up on the leaderboard, despite it having no actual meaning because it wasn't for grid position. So I wonder if that's it. It was I know I can go quicker than that, so I need to show how quickly I can go.
Exactly. All right. So, any surprises for you so far, Alex? Q1?
No, not really. It is unfortunate to see Narwhal go, but he has been at the lower end of the grid. But nothing overly surprised apart from the cornucopia of shit decisions we did see regarding tires.
I'm counting them. 2. We are 2 now. All right. So, we see Brandon here. Karachi going out. Has to be on softs, right? Otherwise, it wouldn't. Like if he goes out on mediums, I'm not sure about that.
Currently fitted, the only ones that have softs attached are Hodgson, Crispy, and Dormin. They are not out on track yet, so they still can change their mind. But Tarachi is out on mediums. However, it does say 0 lap old mediums.
Why?
So I wonder if that was maybe a bit of a spectator bug in the first one. The same with Crispy's out on soft, so we can't see whether that was a bug or not. But the time Tarachi set looked like it was a relative medium time. So if I'm honest, I'm a bit stumped at that and why Tarachi has suddenly gained a fresh set of mediums.
Yeah, let's see. Alright, we're following Sonny here on his outlap. A lot of drivers are out. Bowman, Copy, Crispy, Shadow, and Hodgson deciding not to go yet. They wanna wait until traffic's gonna get a little bit better. Sonny obviously on the mediums, he's gonna look to That is Q2 time here on this set of tires.
We shall follow Sonny round for his first hot lap of the session. He is out on the medium tyres coming down the Hamilton straight, going through turn 1. It should be a flat out corner if you hit it right, but it is very dangerous to do so. Coming down towards the first DRS straight, down into second, and you want to shift up quite quickly coming out of here to gain that grip. Coming across the DRS line, he opens the DRS flap. Nice long DRS straight, especially when you come into the race. Great for overtaking into the nice swooping left-right hander. Coming into what used to be the old start-finish straight in the old pit lane, now used for GT racing only. Now we come into Cops, which is the corner Hamilton and Verstappen had their famous incident in, keeping it nicely in between the lines. It'd be interesting whether Sonny lifted there through Maggots and Beckett's. There is yellow flags ahead. It'll be interesting to see whether this affects Sonny's lap. It looks like the incident has cleared by the time Sonny makes it there, so his hot lap shouldn't be interrupted. Coming through the corner now, where quick double downshift into the Vale chicane, and we just have to wait to see what his lap time's going to be and whether it's going to be competitive for the rest of the field. And he comes in and sets a 1:27.9. Now, if we go off the Q1 times, that should be safe. Even if a lot of the other drivers do come out on softs. But it might get a bit hairy if more than he expects change over to softs.
Yeah, so Maka going in here 1:28.1, Somther 1:28.2, and I think we saw Tarachi here on the second DRS straight who went very slow, so probably he was the reason for the yellow flags. Has to come in again. Maybe Gabe in here now. Validated. We're following Brandon, Gaben. A lot of drivers here out now. Yeah, Tarachi had to head back into the pits, so just gonna repair his front wing. Hopefully not more damage. Crispy. That has to be a vision.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely raining, Crispy. I don't know. Code Masters, I bet. Gaben with the fastest sector ones, but I'm still not sure. You know, I'm always a bit skeptical when I see this, because you never know if this is a spectator.
Yeah.
Or...
interesting with the Glen P2, and has actually shaved off the gap, which was about 4 tenths to Sonny, down to 2 turns on the lead. As I say that, Sonny just crushes his previous time. Now 7 tenths quicker than anybody else on the grid. This man can now just come into the pits, hang up his gloves for the rest of the qualifying. He's not going to need to come out again. I would put money on it.
Yeah, just retire, please. Don't pull a Hodgson. Speaking of Hodgson on softs, 1:28.3 P5 right now, faster than Bren in the Mercedes sandwich. That's how he likes it. And Brandon, speaking of a sandwich,
and Brandon has retired. That is Brandon out of qualifying. He's currently in P10. Oh no, wait, sorry, that's the Co-Masters thing. He is currently in P8, if that reads correctly. But with drivers like Tarachi, Crispy, Monty behind him, it's going to be interesting to see whether his corpse of a car can make it through to Q3 and lock in his tyre choice, or whether he's going to go out in Q2. So we'll have to see how that plays out.
Yeah, interesting. We were able to see the last bit, like the last milliseconds of the crash. Brandon definitely going to be happy about this. So shout out to you, Mr. Recke, not being able to compete into Q3. Yeah, let's see. He has to reset his mental for the race. I'm not sure. Yeah, I hope he's gonna achieve that while we follow our Italian man Pyrophire around on the back straight. Gonna set his first time here on fresh mediums, so all good, all very standard.
And Carlos has
and
retired.
his teammate is dead. Passing him, yeah, probably took too much speed into the corner, right? That's what I assume at least. And
Yeah,
then
it's a corner where you have to fully commit, and if you get it slightly wrong, you are donezo, and there's no real chance of recovering it. It's a very brutal corner in terms of punishing mistakes.
So, Brandon and Carlos are first victims here of tonight's qualifying session. But we will still follow Copy around over the finish line, and he's setting no time because he invalidated. Well, that's gonna sting a bit.
Now, I will
and-
say, drivers like Hodgson maybe need to start improving their times, because if that's his fastest soft time, with drivers like Tarachi and Monty behind him, Hodgson can suddenly find himself getting pushed out of Q2 here.
Yeah. Icarus, P11, so quite not there yet. I mean, even Copy can definitely find good time here, I assume.
Yeah,
Good option.
definitely.
Yeah, Tarachi here,
this-
P5.
Yeah, nice. If these a lot of the drivers now, so Monty, the Pyrophire, Crispy's already doing selected them. This is where I would perhaps consider coming in, putting on a set of softs, saying screw the optimal strategy, and going soft medium in the race, and looking to push the drivers like Hodgson, maybe even Somfer, which would be, for me, be a surprise to see out of Q2, and really sort of start unsettling the rest of the grid. I do like to see it when a lot of the lower down drivers say, screw it, I'm going to go on softs and start pushing out the faster drivers who are staying on the mediums.
So we follow Copy around, and since he invalidated the last corner, right, he invalidated not only his current lap but also the one following after. He's going into the pits now to put probably a new set of softs on. Completely under the radar, Shadowhopper, P2 currently, 127.8.
Yeah,
Of
that's
funny.
Shadow's always been a sort of silent assassin where he is capable of incredibly quick laps. He just doesn't seem to be able to string it together for a race. He'll get in a good position, and then it's just that one mistake that ends up costing him, unfortunately. So it's going to be interesting if he can keep it for this race and how he does from that position on the grid.
Yeah, fun fact by the way, Alex, when Somther, Stulben, and Shadowhopper came into, couldn't tell them apart. They're all the same to me.
We say that as Monty goes spinning out around turn one again. Very dangerous corner. You want to take it flat out, but if you get it slightly wrong, you are just losing the car. So that's his nice fresh set of softs. Now dug in with a load of gravel and probably a bit of a flat spot as well. So he's not going to be able to set his best time on those tyres, but hopefully it should be quick enough.
Yeah. We have 4 minutes remaining, while Crispy now is finally setting his first time, hoping not to invalidate this one. Yeah, as we said, he's a good driver. He should make it into Q3. He puts his mediums away now on softs, and he's going for the first straight here, as you mentioned earlier. Very nice, very long straight. Good opportunity in the race then later on to overtake. Shadow doing the sensible thing. He's in P2. He's safe. Just retire the car.
Yeah, exactly. In my opinion, it's nice to retire the car if you know you're safe, because it does give you that overall view on what's going on in the rest of qualifying. When you are in the garage, you are somewhat restricted in what you can see. So I think it's quite nice, especially if you've got another teammate you can perhaps help out. in terms of Jeff and them giving them information, it's a lot better to do it from the spectator menu than it is from the garage.
What happened to Copy, by the way? He's gone.
Oh, so he is. I didn't see that.
I did not catch that. Did we have... Alright, that means Copy's out though.
So we now got 3 drivers who have DNF their car. Well, we assume Caparify DNF'd his car rather than him choosing to do it, as Crispy goes P2 on the softs. The fact that Maka is now P3, the fact that neither of those 2 drivers were able to unseat Sonny, who is on the mediums, does not bode well going into Q3, but we'll have to see what sort of times people are going to be doing.
So, right now, Monty, we were following around Hodgson, getting their time in. Let's see, Crispy and Mac, as you pointed out, very close to Sonny time-wise, but they were on softs. And I'm curious what Sonny can do if he's going on these kind of tires. Now Monty, long straight here, last couple of corners. Come on, make it. You want to get into Q3. A little bit of focus here. Just a few seconds more of concentration. He's going to the pits. Forget what I said. I don't know. Maybe he wasn't fast enough, and he doesn't have time. He doesn't have time to set another lap.
Yeah, maybe he didn't have the fuel.
Oh, that could be it. It could be it. Yeah. EIS looks great though. 100%. I don't know. Yep, that means Monty P14. That's settled.
Yeah, there's a lot of perplexing decisions this qualifying session that are stumping the both of us.
Yeah. Hodgson here, fastest sector 2, but as said, I'm very skeptical of that. Let's see what time he can make. He's currently in the danger zone. Well, not to be fair, it depends on Icarus, right? Because he's the only one who can overtake Hodgson. So we have to take that. But he still wants to improve, and he does. P5 for the botch, 127.8. Overtakes. Was faster than Gabe.
And an interesting decision made by Somther to come into the pits here, abandon a hot lap he could have done, while being in the danger zone, and Icarus is out behind him. So we'll have to see if Somther's going to pay for this decision and see whether Icarus is the one to punish him for deciding to... I say that, but despite there being time left on the clock, Icarus didn't make the line in time, so that's it. Icarus can't beat him. So I'm guessing that was another minor spectator bug of how much time was left in the qualifying session.
So Somther's gamble paid off. Good job, sir. Well done. Well done. And we head into Q3. Sadly, Brandon, Carlos, and Copy, who crashed out, have to leave us, as well as Icarus and Monty, who couldn't improve the time. Let's see. Obviously, biggest question for me, how fast can Sonny be? Because I assume he will go and get that pole position. But behind him, it's gonna be really interesting. Could be Crispy, could be Maka, maybe another surprise. I don't know. I could see Glenn down there in P9. Well, he's on mediums, but still, not sure about that. Well, we'll take a look.
Going to be interesting to see which drivers. Looking at these current results, it's looking less and less likely that someone's going to unseat Sonny. But if someone can get close enough to maybe force Sonny into a mistake during the race, I think that's where potential points could lie if you're able to maybe stay within his DRS and just sort of force Sonny to try and push that extra bit more, and then maybe him making a mistake and spinning out or getting a small corner cutting penalty, something like that. So we'll have to see how that's going to unfold going into Q3.
Yeah. All right, it's sunny day here. Let's see. I haven't seen the weather prediction for the race, Alex. I don't know if you have.
Yeah, it is sunny and getting sunnier as it goes on.
I'm not talking about the drive. I'm talking about the weather. Oh my God.
that you even have to admit that was a poor joke. So, as we said during that, we're looking at Brandon, Carlos, Icarus, Monty, and Capyrify being the drivers that drop out. Monty dropping out on the soft tyres, Capyrify dropping out with no time set, and all these drivers will have free tyre choice going into the race. Anyone who is now in Q3 will be locked on the tyres they set their fastest lap in Q2.
Yeah, exactly. And as you said, the race strategy probably is going from mediums into softs. Obviously, you can swap it around if you have qualified or if you did Q2 on the soft tires because you were scared that you're not fast enough, which is understandable, right? Because you rather want to make it into Q3 than I don't know, start somewhere P11, 12, 13, 14 or whatever. But yeah, let's see. I'm curious. Also curious about the race then. If we can see some interesting shenanigans, especially lap 1. But before that, we obviously have to set the grid. We talked about it. Sunny, clear contender for pole position, and behind him, it's gonna be a bit open, I would say. Sunny, behind Sunny, sorry, Crispy, Gabe, and Macca. Let's see. Depends on how much risk they're willing to take into these fast corners, that cause some harm, a crash. Because if you don't take it fast enough, if you're not willing to take the risk, you're gonna lose too many seconds here. Somfer on the outlap, Parachi, Shadow, and Sunny going out, and the rest is chilling.
Yeah, it looks like I think all but maybe 2 drivers.
Yep.
Perhaps 3. Oh no, yeah, all but 2 drivers. We say, oh no, 2 more coming out the pit.
They're
Currently
fighting
just
for track
Crispy
position here.
sat on the pit lane, and interesting that people are fighting for track position. I will say I have noticed recently that people on their outlaps are starting to go slower and slower in general, which personally I'm not a big fan of. Some of the speeds drivers are going is getting a bit ridiculously slow on their outlaps.
Shout out to my boy Travis here. There are no shenanigans. It's all about saving time. All about that. There's no too slow for outlap. Obviously, you want to heat up the tires. Well, the old guys, the veterans of VLF1, know what I'm talking about. And let's follow. Well, we can follow something around. We haven't seen much of him here. Going slow down a bit. Sunny gonna get into the right position. Something right behind him.
On the start of this lap, he is quite close to the back of Sunny, so he is hoping that Sunny doesn't make any kind of mistake that will interrupt his lap. As we go through turn 1, sounded like he went nice and flat through there, keeping his foot down, really trying to maximise as much speed as he can through these corners. Now, the advantage of being as close as he is to Sunny is down this DRS straight, he is going to get a nice toe. Nice bit of speed, and you see that as it looks like Dorman has spun off turn 1 on his hot lap.
Yeah, Monty probably has some connection issues. He just said he left the session. But if I want to be behind someone in Q3, out of these drivers, it's probably Sunny, because he's going to be very likely to not make any mistakes, right? So no danger here. And he's fast, he can give you a tow if you're able to keep up with him.
Yeah, that's the big thing, is you could start up right at his rear wing, but with how quick Sunny has been during this qualifying, can you keep up with him? And it looks like something just has dropped out of the tow range, so it's going to be interesting to see what the times are, and who is competitive with each other. As we say, Tarachi goes for provisional pole with a 127 flat, Sonny with a 126.9, and then followed by Somther with a 127.3. Now I'm expecting these times to drop further, especially given the times Sonny was doing in Q2 on the mediums. This should definitely start to get a bit faster as Q3 goes on.
I'm a bit curious about this red train that's going on, just heading over the finish line. Maka and Hodgson obviously as the senior driver getting the tow. Glenn following a bit after them, right? He's some clear space here. He doesn't want to get involved in any shenanigans. From behind him is Gaben, and they're all lining up as well in the standings so far. Dorman probably spun out a bit, yeah. And Crispy, everyone's out on track now. They have 7 minutes and 20 seconds left to set a time which will determine their starting position. And now, yeah, Macca's just letting the old guys behind. Now, come on, don't race, please.
So, if they are attempting to do some kind of towing, realistically, this isn't the way you want to do it. What you want to do is get the slower driver to tow you down Hanger Straight and then to get out of the way, which is the second DRS zone of the track. That is the longer of the two DRS zones.
Speaking of slow drivers, Glenn just spun and completely screwed the strategy.
Oh, so much for Mr. Consistency. As we have said multiple times, it is a very tough corner. But having already set a hot lap, it feels like he may have been pushing it a bit too hard for not much reason. So, and we say that with his hot tires, he spins off again, going through Maggots and Beckett's.
Glenn, we've talked about that. It doesn't look like he has a major damage though, so just cool the tires a bit. Don't spin around, and it's all good. It's all good. No major damage. Well, we've talked about the red train and the tow possibility, and what are they doing, Alex? They're going to the pits.
Yeah, so Glenn sort of deciding to go into the pits. It looked like a bit of a last-minute decision. Either that or he might need to go to Specsavers because he did almost miss that pit entry.
Yeah, Dorman improved his time a bit, but still on P10. Not what he's hoping for. Other than that, everyone's besides his teammate Crispy in the pits, and they're just waiting who's making the first move, because as you said, the tow can be very, very impactful here on this track.
It can be, but if you do follow too closely, if you are quite close behind Maggots and Beckett's, it can throw off your lap as well, so you have to time it very, very well. My personal opinion, I like doing what Doran's currently doing, of make sure you've got a nice clean track. Like, don't try and cheese anything with the tow of, yes, it might be worth a couple of tenths if you get it right, but if you get it wrong, it's going to cost you a lot more than that. So it's going to be interesting to see what sort of times, as we say, as Dormin comes into the pits and completely screws up what I was saying.
Yeah, man, he invalidated his lap time, right? So no point. Get yourself a new set of tires if you have one left for Q3, and then head out when we see someone heading out. Karachi and Somtha out on track. The Mercedes driver following Karachi here. Doesn't really want to give Somtha a tow, but doesn't have the option, right? So let's see. Karachi, Somtha, definitely guys who can compete for the podium. Everyone else kind of waiting, so let's just follow them around on the lovely outlap here on Silverstone. A lot of fans. So is COVID still a thing in the UK, Alex?
Oh, definitely. We are. When you're currently running a Muppet as a Prime Minister.
I've seen him dancing with some other woman who held a lightsaber on the dance.
I haven't seen that, and I'm very glad I haven't.
Well, I don't know. Not sure what to say about that, but yeah. Would you, if you were invited to one of his parties at Downton Abbey, would you go?
Not, not a hope in hell. I
Why
don't
not?
even
Why
think
not?
even if you paid me.
How much would he have to pay you?
Uh, more than he probably spends on that toupee of his hair.
Oh my god. Well, that's not much. I hope. I hope.
True, with the quality of it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh man.
right, we see a couple of drivers coming onto the hot laps now. Somther backed off a bit, but he is now currently stuck behind what looks to be, I think, Sunny. So I'm guessing Somther either made a mistake or backed off a bit too much, and Sunny got past him. So right. So from our production, I'm hearing it was just a bit of unfortunate timing of Sunny coming out of the pits as Somther was starting his hot lap. So that's a unfortunate situation for Somther. This is the downside of trying to get a fresh track is you might enter the track when people are doing their hot laps. Say that as someone has stopped on the hanger straight.
Yeah, it was something. He slowed down a bit because
So
two.
yeah, it looks like he's trying to get himself in the nicest position he can. Everyone is out on tracks. No one's going to be able to come out onto track and screw with his positioning. So he can really go for it this lap. Looks like everyone should make the start finish line by the end of the lap. And we'll have to see what the standings are at the checkered flag.
Yeah, exactly. We follow something around here. Sunny for a little bit. If he can improve his time, he's currently setting the fastest sector one. It's only 1/10 up of Tarachi, so he's looking to improve that. Going to sector 2, I expect a lot of him here. On the minimap, you can see a little bit of racing changing positions with the red Ferrari train. But that's yellow sector 3, but just probably slowing a bit down, but they can't slow down
Sunny
that
is
much. Sunny fastest sector 2, yeah.
On his time.
Fastest sector 2 again. Maybe can go for the Holy Trinity, fastest sector 3. Looking really good. Tarachi improved his time a little bit. You can see it up there on the top left. 8/100ths of a second. Only a little bit, but something Sunny is gonna change that. 26.7.
Crispy comes across the line with a 127 flat as well. Neither of them should really set another lap, so we can look at those as locked in times. As Somther is the first driver to come across the line with a checkered flag. Macas going P4 with his time of a 127. We'll call it 2. It effectively is.
Yeah. It's following Crispy around here. He's following his teammate. Currently in P3. Maybe with the toe he can jump ahead of Tarachi. We will find out. The toe stretch we've seen sector 3. Someone
like Shadow
Shadow just crashed, spun around.
He was facing the wrong way in the middle of a straight. I'm not quite sure how that happened.
Well, sometimes it do be like that. We cannot explain. The Ferrari train just crossing the finish line, not really doing anything, so the tow wasn't effective.
People are coming into the pit, so it looks like rather than ending Q3 in a bang of people setting faster and competitive times.
Oh, Crispy just
went say that was Crispy almost gets within a 10th of Sunny's time, which is the closest we've really seen people get to Sunny on the softs. But that everyone now has crossed the line. So that is your final top 10 for the race with Sunny Crispy 1-2, Tarachi Maka 3-4, Something Gaben 5-6, Hodgson Glenn leading an all Ferrari row 4 in 7 and 8, and Shadow Hopper and Dormin rounding out the end of Q3.
Yeah, Shadow maybe could have improved his time. Not sure what happened there on the straight, facing the wrong way. But other than that, yeah, I'm surprised. It's only that close. I thought Sonny would be off by like 3 or 4 tenths. But well, it's good to see. It's good to see that this can be competitive. What is this gesture he's doing? What is this W? Oh my god, crazy! Good content, by the way. Fastest guy, Sonny.
As a British person, I hope it's not W for wanker.
What? Well, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. You know, I'm not. All right. That concludes the qualifying session of the British Grand Prix. And yeah, good to see. Only a few crashes, unfortunate souls, out there. But other than that, nothing. There was no big incident, right? Looking forward to especially the start. If Tarachi or Crispy or whoever maybe can catch Sonny sleeping. He's in the chat, so he's gonna hear that. Sonny, don't take it easy. Otherwise, you could end up in the danger zone, and we don't want that here in F1, right? No
Yeah.
crashes. Yeah, all very calm, all very chill.
As we know with this track, anything can happen, especially going into turn 1. We're going to have 16 drivers all trying to maybe take it flat out, which not necessarily the smartest idea. And we'll have to see how they navigate it if there are any incidents, especially if they do bring out a safety car.
Mm-hmm. So, Alex, for the start, what is your pro strategy? How do you want to take it?
So,
is it better to be on the in or the outside?
in my opinion, it's definitely better to be on the outside here. There's a nice, big, safe tarmac runoff to your left hand side. If you think someone's sending it like a certain half German, half Thai driver used to back when he raced,
I don't know who you're talking
like
about.
sending it up turn 1.
I don't know.
You can use that escape road to keep safe. Maybe getting a warning or a minor penalty is better than the 30 seconds you're gonna lose to have to replace your wing. So it's definitely better to be on the outside going into turn 1, in my opinion.
Okay, but for the guys further down the grid, how good is it to send it turn 1? Would you recommend it?
I definitely wouldn't. I think this is a track where, because pitting is so costly, you need to keep your wing and all 4 tires solid as much as you can. You need to take the first lap as safe as possible and get round without causing any damage. As I said before, Britain is a track that is very kind for overtaking. There are lots of opportunities to do it. The race isn't won turn 1, so don't risk losing the race turn 1.
Okay. Looks like starting grid is about to come up. We're ready for that. And Alex, lead the way.
Yeah, so starting grid, we have Sunny leading off Crispy, P1 and 2 at the start of the grid. New Aston Martin, the only driver. P3 and P4, we have Tarachi filling in as one of the AlphaTauri seats, followed by Maka in P4. We then behind them have the start of Mercedes with something P5, and then we begin what is a very long Ferrari train with Gaben in P6. We have the All Ferrari row 4 with Hodgson and Glenn in P7 and 8 respectively. Shadow Hopper and Dormin rounding out the top 10 in P9 and P10. Following that, we have Mr. Blaze Homewrecker himself in P11, followed by my co-commentator's brother Carlos in P12. The second to last row of P13 and 14 is filled in by Icarus and Monty, and rounding out the rest of the grid is the resident Italian Caparopire P15 and Narwhal P16. So that'll be your grid going into the start of the race.
Yeah, 16 drivers. A lot of British drivers though, so they're definitely looking to perform on the home track. Copy didn't set a time, done P15. I will expect him to end up somewhere in the points. Veteran guy is probably trying to be safe as you recommended in lap 1, not trying to get involved into any incidents, any shenanigans. And then we'll have to take a look how the race evolves. Safety car may be a key factor here if someone crashes out, which then affects the pit strategy, the tire choice, the outcome. You know that from last week's race where we had 3 safety cars. I'm not sure if we get that tonight. I hope to see some good racing, some hard racing, but keep it fair, not like some incidents in real life, right? Don't want that. Otherwise, Stulband will come in and bonk your head. He's not only the lead of production, but the secret mastermind behind it. VLF1, nobody knows that, so please keep it a secret. He's the RRD, the real racing director. Screw you, Brandon. He just told me over the production headset. Not my words, not my words.
If Brandon is Michael Massey, Stulbend is Stefano Domenicali.
You just, oh my god, Brandon, if you hear this was Alex's opinion, and I agree. All right, we're waiting for the ready check. Captains, make it happen. Don't waste too much time. I know from personal experience, Ferrari is they can take that time. I mean, you have to go through f1guides.com to look for correct pit strategies. Look at what random internet users recommend you for this VL F1 race, and then completely screw it up. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm looking forward to it. And if we look at Twitch chat, credits here, Travis. Hello, guys. I'm not sure. It's kind of a weird scenario because you guys probably know much more about F1. Not probably, for sure. But what are your predictions? Let's get the community involved because that's what we're all about, right? Okay, cool. Thanks. Hello, Cradden. Hello. But yeah. I'm looking forward to it. No predictions so far. Who do you think? Cradden, who do you think is going to be the first one to crash out? Just type it on chat. Because I have my prediction. I really hope we will get some Brandon Glenn. We need to come up with because if it was back then Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, weren't they called like Brangelina or whatever, or I don't know. We need to come up with something for Glenn and Brandon, but I'm not sure yet. Glandon maybe, or Brand sounds a bit weird. Glengate, I don't know. It's really
Glengate.
I don't know.
that just Glengate just sounds like some a whole town has woken up and all their noses have been stolen and it's just been dubbed Glengate.
Glengate. Oh my god, no. Alright, so Grant says Crispy beats his senior team, Gaben beats his senior team, Karachi beats his senior team.
We're on the
well,
start grid here.
something Sunny
Cars,
collide. All right.
looks like cars are, I hear, starting to do their formation lap, get their tires nice and warm. We'll see who gets the best start of the race. It is a long formation lap. It's a long track, given the current ones on the calendar. And as we see, I think that was Tarachi spinning on the formation lap, trying to get that heat into those tires.
No.
And he has been disqualified from. So that is really bad for it. He will start the race still in P3, but he is going to have very cold tires off the start. And it's gonna mean he will struggle to keep that place going into turn 1. Let's hope it doesn't cause any issues of drivers being caught out by him being a lot slower.
Because especially when you have Mako right in the same row, who's on soft tires, or the guy behind him, something. We will see. But curious to see someone spinning out.
Yeah, it's definitely a mistake, and I thought we were going to have another bit of a spin out there, but it was more of a burnout, try and get the tyres warm. It's going to be interesting what the start of this race is going to be like. I think a lot of drivers might say screw it to the rules and send it, but I really hope they don't. I want to see some nice clean racing.
Yeah. So Crispy, Maka, and Hodgson, the only ones starting on soft tires. Everyone else on the yellow ones, on the mediums. As you pointed out, Alex, earlier, looking for a one-stop strategy, because the pit takes a long time. You don't want to do that. You don't want to waste too much time in the pits because it's super long. And now we see them heading up for the start. Lining up here, driving through Tarachi, at least Sunny and Crispy. We wait for last one's copy and Nabor, and we see that predicted pit stop strategy powered by AWS. 5 red lights will come up soon, and after that we will finally get some good racing. Here we go. Sunny and Crispy take the lead. Crispy gets really well off the start here on the inside, overtakes Sunny in lap 1. We will see any crashes so far. No, everyone makes it through. Turn 1, turn 2 looks really clean. Oh well, I've jinxed it. Caster curse.
Yep.
Caster curse. Sorry about that. Yellow flag, sector 1. Who was it that spun around?
Maka, it looks like.
Maka down to P16, Tarachi down to P6. Somther, Gabe and Glenn and Hodgson now overtaking Tarachi will be happy about that. But Crispy caught Sunny. You've been listening to his stream and Crispy caught you napping. What is going on, my man? Alright, Maka, it's really bad for him, especially because he's in soft tires, right? He has to make up a lot of ground. Maybe his car is damaged. Let's see.
I will say, starting on the softs here, nowhere near as detrimental as starting on the mediums, because it is that just one swap onto the medium tyre, and vice versa. There's no real going to the hards, no real funky business of what to do with pit. It's very cut and dry. As we said, a couple of positions changing around towards middle, towards the back of the field as well. Shadow, Hopper and Dorman changing places, as well as Carlos and Monty. Crispy, as we expected, with the fastest lap. And as I said, those soft tyres for Tarachi at the start really hurt him. He dropped from P3 all the way down to P7. So it just shows you how important it is to warm your tyres at the start of a race. Get them into that optimal window, because if you don't, you are just going to go backwards at the start of the race.
Even here on Somfler's tail, looking for an overtake. Maybe he can't do it right now, but to stick with him, next up we're gonna have the DRS enabled. then maybe we can take a shot. Gaben leading the Ferrari Echo 3, as said, sadly down there, P16, so he can't join his fellow project mates. Sonny already like 1.5 seconds behind, probably drops a bit back because of that, yeah. And obviously, because we need it and we wanted it, he predicted pit stops already again by AWS. Thank you, AWS. Thank you.
So it is important on this track to stay within the RS zone. If you drop out, it's very hard to recover that time over such a long lap. So it is very detrimental for Sonny that he has dropped so far back off Crispy. But it's going to be interesting to see how it does eventually play out with the tyres. Hodgson already with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. One warning a lap already. If he keeps going like this, it's going to be 26 warnings by the end of the race. So he needs to clean up his racing lines, or he's going to be in big trouble come the end of the race.
Yeah, that's not what I expected. Lap 2 already time penalty. He's gonna...
And it looks like Gaben gonna send it on the outside of Somther. He will have the inside coming into the next corner. But he is just forced out wide by Somther. Really nice racing there. Both drivers giving each other a lot of respect.
Well, in the back here, yeah, Hodgson fighting with Tarachi, while Hodgson is really, really close to Glenn. We will see some team orders, I don't know. It looks like Hodgson is faster, but it's a really bad base and bad place for Glenn to let Hodgson pass. Maybe after this on the long second straight where you have the DRS, right? But looks like... Not sure. Doesn't look like we have team orders here yet, but Hodgson...
And it looks like Tarachi is right on the back of Hodgson.
Yeah.
Going up the inside. Is he going to make the move stick? He's trying to force Hodgson a bit wide, but he's now stuck on the outside coming into the next one. And Hodgson just gives Tarachi no room there. Forces him out quite a bit. And Maka now with a 3-second time penalty.
Ferrari going for a steam achievement here, Alex.
All the Ferrari drivers, especially Maka, I'm guessing he's really pushing the limits, trying to get back up the grid.
Somebody spawned in sector 3. It looks like Monty is here.
10-second time penalty.
Alright. Project Ferrari, what you can do, I can do better, says Monty. While he collects 10-second time penalty. While we were focusing on the Hodgson-Tarachi fight, Gaben overtook Somther. We caught that a little bit on stream here. And Gaben, the next one. Huh?
Ferrari are just... And no!
What?
This track really is catching out people in terms of track limits. We always think Canada is the one that people get the most limits on, but Silverstone really putting his name down. And if Gaben keeps taking lines like that, I can understand why he's getting these penalties, because that is not a line you're allowed to take, my friend.
Do you think he's a little bit under pressure because he's been followed by Somther, who is super close now, gets DRS and maybe takes a look here. Gaben tries to defend the inside, Somther is spawning around, gets the slipstream, but doesn't look like he can make a move to just stick with him, and the next DRS straight maybe you can overtake him. But yeah, Project Ferrari, what are you doing? I don't get it. Speaking
of Project Ferrari, this Glenn and Hodgson battle, we should call it, strategically, it's not very good for either of them. Glenn's burning up his tyres trying to defend. Hodgson's burning up his tyres trying to get past. What they realistically should do is team orders here, let Hodgson pass because he is on the faster tyres, and keep Glenn within DRS and just tow themselves both forward and start attacking Somther with both Ferraris rather than slowing themselves down so Somther can just attack Gaben. We say that as someone else has just been. Brandon has spun coming out of turn 4, I think it was. He's now dropped down the field. He's joining the likes of Monty, Shadow Hopper, and now.
I mean, I can understand that earlier when we played FIFA, Brand said he loves his country, so he's going to explore every single bit of it, right? Just makes sense. But as you said, Hodgson overtook Glenn, so they listened. Hello, Project Ferrari. Thanks for listening in. Hodgson now has to make up some time, obviously. time penalty. And Sumter with the DRS on the inside. No chance for Salty Gaben. And now he's back to P3.
It's going to be interesting to see if this battle keeps swapping places or whether one is eventually going to get past the other. We say that was Sonny with fastest lap starting to close the game, and Icarus has crashed out, and that is a full safety car. That is a full safety. Now it's going to be interesting. Are any of the soft runners going to come in for Hards?
Yeah,
Hards
gonna go on
can
Hards.
probably. I reckon Hards can do the entire race from here. So it's going to be interesting to see any of them going to take this free pit stop. Personally, the Hards feel like ass around here.
Okay.
They are not a very good tyre to be racing on. As Strachey very bravely sends it around the outside of the safety car. I would not get anywhere that close to that car.
Yeah, you're not. You definitely. But Marana would just, swerved around. Just took you out. But yeah, well, we're looking at like probably, a little bit hard if you're on softs, probably a good shout to go into the pits. Now, obviously, Crispy will lose track position for that, but it's kind of a free pit stop. So debating what you want to do.
A rough decision, if I'm going to be honest. I wouldn't like to be in this situation.
What would you do, Alex, if you're Crispy here? P1 currently. You're on softs.
Oh, he's answering the question. He's already coming in.
Oh, he's going in.
And while we do have this, bros, I would like to apologise for the general frame drops and sound quality of the stream. We are having a few technical issues. Hopefully they should be resolved shortly, but my apologies for what's going on. We'll try and keep you up to date in terms of what's going on in the race, if it is interrupting you seeing what's going on. I say that as all the soft runners and a few of the medium runners have come in. Crispy's actually come in on mediums.
He's going on mediums.
Interesting choice. I don't know how far the mediums can last. If they can last to the end, it's a brilliant choice. I would say that as Darwin comes in and puts on the soft.
I think that's a mistake.
It's not a mistake if you're planning on another safety car, but as we all know in racing, you can't plan a strategy around guaranteeing a safety car. That's not how racing works. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Crispy managed to slot himself in between Caparifier and Shadow Hopper, but on much fresher mediums. As we've said, Silverstone, nice place to overtake at if you do have the DRS. But it's going to be how much is he going to drop back from Sonny in the time it takes for him to get past the 6 drivers that are in front of him.
But can you do like 17, 18 laps on mediums here? That is the question. I mean, it looks like that's the general consensus, because nobody is taking the odds.
If you can, and it might be something Jeff has suggested of we can do mediums to the end here. This safety car really puts a spanner in the works for all the drivers that started on mediums, because you are not going to be able to do softs to the end for here. If mediums can, it's such a free stop for the medium runner, especially Crispy. You could then say Crispy, or everyone above Crispy, has effectively just gotten a 25-30 second time penalty, which is very, as you can imagine, very detrimental. And Dorman's come in the pits again, and this is actually, I don't think that was a mistake. He has now done the softs. He can now swap back onto the mediums and just go to the end of the race.
What was he, like P10 or P11 or something?
Yeah, I would say Brandon gets speeding in the pit lane. This track does catch you out. The pit entry is very early, and it's a very slow one, as it's 37.
Why are they pitting in second lap of safety?
So if
He's going on
oh
soft. Okay, yeah, Alex, what did you want to explain? Go on. Go on.
so what Dormin did, I'll
Yeah.
explain from Dormin's point of view. Of I think that was actually brilliant. He lost maybe 2 places,
Okay.
and now it's very similar to what I did in Hungary, in which you pit maybe lose 2 or 3 places, but you don't need to run either the hard or soft now. You can run
Okay.
the medium to the end, and you've effectively done. However, Brandon's swapped from fresh mediums to fresh softs, when, as far as I'm aware, softs aren't going to be able to finish the race from here. And if they are, they're going to be slow as fuck by the end. So
it was like 2 years ago, I think, the tire situation with Mercedes, like Hamilton and Bottas, where
yeah.
the tire just popped.
And the other risk here is Brandon going to reach the safety car by the time it comes in? Because it doesn't always wait for the final car to group up. So it'll be interesting to see if it is in this lap or whether it's going to give Brandon one final chance.
I think it's another lap.
Yeah, it looks like the safety car staying out. So Brandon is fortunate in that respect of he will get to catch up, but Brandon is now on, yes, he is on the faster tyre than the rest of the grid, but he's still going to have to make 1 extra pit stop. So unless he can drive past everyone or drive past up until Crispy and then make a 25-second gap, it's what I would say suboptimal. Brandon's in it.
Okay, I don't. I'm clueless. Hello?
Oh. Okay, no, I get it. So, he pitted once. He pitted once, got a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, correct? He pits again, swaps to the softs to serve the 5-second pit thing, and get his tyre swap done. And now he pits again, gets to go back on the mediums until the end, while having served the 5-second pit thing, because he was at the back anyway. So this pit stop sort of makes sense. However, I now think the safety car will come in before Brandon reaches the end of the pack.
Yeah, I don't think he will be able to make it on time, because the safety car has to go in this lap. There's no other way. We joked a bit around about Ferrari strategies, and yeah, we've seen some new innovation here by Mr. Blaze Homewrecker, our racing director, not the real racing director, right? Because that's still banned. But yeah, let's see when we will get the message. Everyone but Brandon. Very close. See how much something can pressure Sonny.
I believe we'll get the message relatively soon. If it is, yep, safety car in this lap.
Now Brandon has to hurry the F up. I've been told we're not allowed to swear. This is Travis' channel. Or choices, depending on how you want to look at it. So
now it looks like Brandon will make the back of the grid, and he's going to have nice warm tyres now.
That's really good, actually.
He has been good in it. So it's going to be interesting. Can he make it to the end of the race on these tyres? I'm assuming, given what everyone else has done, that they can make it to the end.
Yeah, apparently Jeff told them they can, and we're going to have a nice safety car restart. Somtha is so far back from Sonny. He's going super wide. What is he doing? Sonny's off, far away. Oh, Hoppy is overtaking him by Crispy, turn 1. Oh, and yeah, that was a Ferrari, I think, in the back here. Milan. Somtha.
No, it's Hodgson. Hodgson's spun.
What Hodgson? Doesn't his car look okay? Let's see.
Does look in one piece. Yep. So it looks like it was just a spin coming through the corner, maybe contact, but we can't really speculate.
Yeah. Apparently Navor caused it. Couchy just said, I'm not sure how reliable Couchy is. But we'll leave it at that. Yeah, Sonny in P1. Oh, Something's going wide again. Is he also a Patriot? Like Brandon? I mean, I don't know.
Looks like Monty's looking up the back of Dorman really, really close, sniffing into every single corner. It's going to be interesting to see how long Dorman can hold him off before Monty eventually gets past. It looks like he might go for a move on the straight.
Yeah.
Maybe take some Fernando Alonso style weaving to keep Monty behind, I think.
Going on the inside,
Monty, Dorman comes back around the outside. That's a nice bit of defenders. Narwhal picks up another penalty.
That's not good. Yeah, nice defending actually. I did not think he would make it sink. Obviously, Monty can now... Oh, yeah. Not here. Just wait for the DS straight. Or maybe... Really close. He's looking for the inside, and he's gonna...
Now got the outside into the next corner.
And Macas is probably the lucky guy here. He's gonna get involved in that battle.
I tell you what, this is some great racing. Real respect from both drivers.
Very close. Dorman loses out here. Macca, yeah.
Ending it around the outside.
Squeezing in between those guys.
Making 2 moves in as many corners. That was some really great racing by all 3 of them. A lot of respect between the drivers, as you can see. Giving them plenty of room, but still getting the elbows out.
Yeah, that's what we want to see. And now we have a nice little train here. Brandon a little bit at the back. But yeah, I like it. I like it. I like it. Let's see if Brandon can catch up to Dorman here. They will all get... is the DS enabled? Yeah. I haven't seen it yet.
No.
Not yet. Next lap, right? So.
Yeah.
Karachi here at the back.
Karachi. DRS is now enabled, so we're going to start to see a lot more attacks. A lot of the drivers are within that crucial 1 second DRS window, so it's going to be interesting to see how that shakes up the field. Drivers like Crispy might be looking to tow their way up the grid, and Crispy's in a really good position.
We see Gabe in here behind Sumter, a little bit far back, trying to get used to the ice, a little bit of slipstream, and gonna probably make a move, just follow him around the next few corners, also through Max and Backwards, and then when you get the ass the next time, try to look for an attack, take P2. Time is already 2.2 seconds away from Sumter here.
Crispy's just made it past Carlos, which is really good for his race. As we say, Carlos just gets a 3-second time penalty for extending the track, and this really is catching out a lot of drivers. It's going to be interesting to see how it shakes up the final grid order.
Rachi and Glenn here. No chance for the big nose man with the DS. Rachi before. Clean overtake, very easy. Simple racing. Don't make it too complicated. Alright.
Just press the go faster button.
Just
say that
go
Sonny with fastest lap. 1:29.5. It's going to be interesting to see how close Crispy is to those sorts of times now that he's in a bit of free air before he catches up on Glenn and starts hunting him down with DRS.
Yeah, you definitely, if you're Crispy, you want to make up some time. Get through all these positions while we follow Sumter versus Gabe round 69 or whatever. And this time, Gabe looks like the victor. Yep, and he's gonna make it sick. Sumter trying his best, but cannot come back. Maybe, he's looking, but can't really do it here. Sumter, never mind.
Sumter with an amazing exit out.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, screw you. Christian Horny man who said you can't overtake on this corner.
I was expecting a bit of a Hamilton Verstappen style incident there, but Sumter had the move done well before the corner. So, oh my god. Again, another great exit by Gabe. These guys are just trading places. And
Sumter losing 2 positions here.
But trying to look around the inside as Tarachi loses it. And he hits the wall. Has he kept the car in one piece? Yeah, he is. Did he take any wing damage? I'm not too sure, but he's back on track. He's staying out, so I'm guessing he didn't take any wing damage. Fortunate with the way he hit the barrier there, but Tarachi just losing it around the outside of that corner. Just not enough grip. And Somtha's sweating a bit as now Glenn's within DRS of him.
Yeah, he can't catch a break. Never going wide here while he followed Dorman. That was so unfortunate for Tarachi. Yep. That's a little bit close, but yeah. Hodgson still down in P13. That's not what you want to see if you're Scott.
Especially when you've got penalties to add on top of that.
Yeah.
And the drivers behind you are staying within that penalty distance. It's not great for you.
Like, no disrespect, but I think as a veteran driver like Hodgson, who Monty gets a recent penalty, you don't want to fight with Dorman and Labo for P13. Like, that can't be your goal. Sumpter, he's a bit far back now, gave in. 8 tenths of a second. It's going a bit with the DRS, obviously. But yeah, Sonny is just driving his own way. Sumpter going wide again. I don't know, these track limits? Not sure about that.
I've got a question for you, Mr. Impress. How many of the 15 remaining drivers are going to have at least a 3-second penalty by the end of the race?
Well, out of 15, I will say, how many? 3? We have 6 now. Definitely another. I'll say 9 drivers.
Okay.
What's your guess?
I was going to go with a nice round 10. I think 10 out of the 15.
Yeah, sounds. Yeah, let's do that.
So we'll have to keep an eye on that, see what it is, because it is this track is taking no prisoners.
Yeah. So, according to Codemasters, according to the timing, everyone is on the same place. No time difference here, obviously. Just a hidden feature. So when do we see like are the mediums gonna fall off already, or when do they come into the pits?
I would say they have to start looking at coming into the pits soonish. There's about 11 laps now. It's gonna be about now where you're gonna look to come in for the softs. You don't want to leave it too late because there's not enough time left in the race to make up the time you lose. Say that as Somford does come into the pits, so within the next 1, 2, 3 laps, people are going to start filtering into the pits. This is really going to help Crispy. Crispy not that far off on the lead, but as far as we're aware, he doesn't have to pit again. So Crispy is currently in net P1, and he is loving life right now.
Really good. Sumter obviously going here on the soft tires. Coming out, looks like P15.
Yeah, it shows you how detrimental it really is to pit on this track. It's such a slow, long pit lane. Without having any actual figures, I would say it's probably one of the most costly pits on the calendar. It's definitely up there. Really want to avoid going in there if at all possible, and the drivers that got a free pit stop, so Crispy, Maka, Monty, those sorts of drivers are loving life. They've got a free pit stop, they are within touching distance of the drivers in front of them who still have to make a pit, and it's really going to shake up the field come the final of this race.
Yeah, well, let's see. We'll follow Brendan here a bit.
As he gets a penalty.
As he gets a time penalty. I don't know. That's interesting. A lot of cars ahead of him. Maybe we'll see some battling soon. Yeah.
Gaben and Glenn into the pits.
The next ones.
Anyone else following them in? No, it doesn't look like it.
Okay. I mean, Sumter now has time. No one really ahead of him. Ever is 5 seconds away. It's closing in very, very soon. Glenn, make it a fast pit stop. Gaben as well. Get Gaben. What? Yeah. Maybe he didn't.
Maybe had some minor wing damage he needed to repair. Picked up something lap 1, maybe something like that. But the problem with this now is Sonny is 7 seconds ahead of Crispy, but still has to pit.
Yeah.
If Sonny pits now, as Dormin picks up a 3-second time penalty, it's really starting to get close to that 10 figure. As Tarachi picks up a 3-second time penalty, they are falling like dominoes.
Oh no.
As if Sonny pits this lap, I think it's about 30 seconds for a pit stop. Minus the 7 seconds it's 23 seconds. He has to make up 23 seconds in 9 laps. That doesn't really sound realistic. Outside of big mistake from Crispy or the tyres really falling off the wall, we say as Sonny comes into the pits from the lead, and Shadow Hopper is following him, Crispy is going to inherit the lead. And he is sitting pretty for the rest of this race. Sonny going in on softs as we expected. Everyone else behind him seems to be following into the pits.
That's
Maka is also another driver that pitted the same time as Crispy, so he's in a nice healthy space. Papyrify are choosing to stay out on the mediums. I'm not sure if that's a decision. Hodgson has somehow made his way now up to P4. When Papyrify pits, he'll be up into P3, and we are currently in a world where Brandon and Hodgson could be fighting for the final podium spot.
That is something I really want to see. Hodge and Brandon. We all know they're like each other. Oh, well, never mind. Sorry. Cassicus. Safety
dead. Car. Now, what would be really bad for drivers like Sonny is for there to be a safety car right now. And we'll have to see if it comes out. Doesn't look like it is. It just looks like standard yellow flag.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it looks like a standard yellow flag. Doesn't really affect any of the order.
Safety car.
Full safety car. So this now gives the opportunity. This is awful for Crispy as it came out as he passed the pit lane. No chance to come in.
Hodgson, right time, I think,
in.
Yeah?
Exactly.
That's good.
Perfect.
That's good.
So we are now in a situation, and I don't mean to sound alarms, Hodgson is currently in a position to win this race.
Yeah, Hodgson is fighting for the win here. Obviously, Sonny and Somtha and so on will get past him, but he will be on fresher tires. Let's see if Hodgson can make the move then. Let's see where he comes out. With him, Copy Tarachi pitted as well. Right choice, in my opinion. It was a free pit stop. Now you're on fresh soft. You did your duty. And Hodgson comes out P10. So not that bad. But ahead of him, I mean, all of relatively fresh softs, right? Sometimes the one with the oldest one, 2 laps. But Crispy, Maka, and Dorman, unlucky.
I think Maka and Dorman was more of a choice to stay out. Crispy had no choice. He went past the pits. It's going to be rough to see what the decisions are from here.
Just have to give his best, but well, you said you can't really plan a strategy around safety car, Alex, but you know, sometimes you're just lucky then. Not
yeah,
really
sometimes.
Choice.
In the turn for Crispy, I do feel he's been hard done by because that safety car should have come out a lot sooner, and it would have given him that chance to pit. The fact that it hasn't really has screwed up the strategy, and it is only 7 laps he has to keep him behind, but as we've already seen, plenty of opportunities to overtake at this track. He kind of has to hope Maka and Dorman can keep Sonny behind him for long enough for Crispy to win this race.
Well, he has to hope for that, and also he can control it a bit, right? At the restart, he can control the pace, but he has to get away, otherwise Macca's gonna attack him, Dorman's gonna attack him, and then he finds himself right ahead of Sonny in P3, which Crispy doesn't really want to. What's that? Navor, the back, he has to catch up, and then he's gonna do that in this lap, and then next one I think the safety car is going in, and we have a couple of laps of racing left. A little bit of tension here. Let's see what Hodgson can do right from P10 with super fresh softs. Good contest here. Overtake some guys, but don't take too many risks, otherwise you'll end up like Brandon or Icarus and DNF.
It's going to be interesting to see how aggressive the defenses are going to be from these top 3 drivers, really obviously wanting to hold on to those podium positions. Are we going to see some Alonso-style weaving where you make your the rear end of your Formula 1 car the size of a London double-decker bus and just park it down the middle of the straight and really frustrate these soft runners? So it's going to be interesting to see the skill difference between the drivers and who can make the overtakes when they count.
So yeah, everyone's back together. We will get the message shortly. If the safety car comes in, then it's all down to Crispy, yeah. And it does. Safety car in this lap. Crispy can control the pace. He can choose when to speed up. And probably hopes to catch, especially Macca and Dorman. So they have to hold up Sonny as long as possible. Safety car going into the pits now. A little bit of weaving, warming up the tires from Crispy here. P1. Can you see all the cars? Belgian King Club, and then down the Hamilton Straight, Sir Lewis Hamilton. There has to be enough time, and let's go!
Nice stable restart from the drivers.
Racing. So far, no shenanigans, but we've hit them with the casticos on multiple times in this race. So let's see, but it looks clean so far. No.
Funny right up the rear end of Dorman, gonna get nice exit with the much fresher tyres, but we see some nice defending by Dorman, taking the inside line and just not giving Sonny any room to send it. Nice defensive driving from Dorman on much slower tyres.
So if Macca and Dorman can team up, right? One covers the right side of the track, the other one covers the left side. Just hold Sonny up as long as possible.
Here we get the Project Earth, or whatever the one that was blocking the M25 in the UK, and they just pull all that off together, not let Sonny pass at all. Linking arms, and Sonny's probably going to try and have another look at Dorman. We'll have to see if it pulls off with that DRS. We know these cars aren't great. You can see the difference there of the braking zones as Sonny runs really wide. Sonny hits the back of Dorman!
Is his wing damaged? Not sure.
I can't see from here.
That could have spun Dorman around actually.
It could have done. We'll have to see if that affects Sonny's car. It doesn't look like there is any wing damage. We'll have to see. Maybe it's caused some rear wing damage for Dorman. We're not too sure.
Alright. Sonny now at the back. Tail Dorman here, and he's gonna look. Glenn overtaken by his junior teammate. Sonny cannot make a move, and he has to care now. Somther right behind him, so if he fights for too long and doesn't look in his rear mirrors, there's gonna be a Mercedes, the only remaining Mercedes, coming up. But Sonny, looking here, is looking.
Trying to pull a Hamilton and just actually deciding to back out as Glenn with a 3-second time penalty. Somther just behind Sonny.
Wait for the DS straight maybe, just follow him around. Monty, another time penalty. Yep.
Not a great exit. Sonny
Yeah.
with a much better exit onto Dormin. Is he too far back though? It looks like he is.
That's a great defending. Oh, Sumter. Gavin just got past Sumter. Oh, so that exit cost him a lot. Instead of being P4, he's now dropped back to P6. Sumter.
And DRS is now enabled. Sonny with a good exit onto Dormin. He's just backing off a bit. Staying safe. Just until the DRS zone. Sumter's, really dropping down here. Not sure if he's picked up any damage or he's just letting the pressure get to him a bit. All we can say is Crispy's now out of DRS. Crispy's loving life now.
Yeah, it's really good. Sumter looking in his rear mirrors, he sees Shadow Hopper and Tarachi. Sonny is still behind Dorman.
Sonny's hit Dorman
he's
and
spinning
lost
a bit. He's
a
spinning
lot
a
of
bit.
time.
Look at Gavin. On the outside, maybe. What is going with Sonny here? He likes Dorman's rear end. No homo.
I have to say, it's been some great defensive driving by Dorman, and I think Sonny's just not expecting the speed difference. And
maybe
puts in the back of him and costing himself time.
Do you think, because he's like a top driver in the end, right? And do you think he gets really impatient being put in this scenario? Because you usually expect to, just drive away, drive into the sunset, and not being held back. But
oh, geez, Sumter's dropped out of the points. Now down into P13.
Oh my god, what happened there? His car looks fine. So I'm not sure.
Go back to Sonny, who's itching to get past Dorman, but can't make any of these moves stick. Dorman, really, with the widest Formula 1 car in existence, is taken up not only the track that Silverstone resides in, but the entire county by the looks of it.
Lovely. But now, Sonny is super close. He has to have. Look at that. No.
And he's forced Sonny wide again. This is just masterfully defended by Dorman.
Absolute madman.
Oh, I was Maka's taken Crispy. What happened there? Tarachi with another 3-second time penalty. In all this excitement, we're just missing everything.
Yeah, it's too much is going on here for us, Alex. I don't know. To be fair, Crispy just played safe. Mac is a 3-second time penalty, right? Exactly. Obviously, for prestige reasons, you wanna win it on track, but prestige or not, in the end, the points are what matter. So don't go for any risky moves. Storm is doing you God's favor here. Something? Well, yeah, this is race.
Add to his pains, and now I was looking like something must have picked up some kind of damage, and Sonny hits the back of Dorman twice again. He's really going for Dorman's rear end.
He's super patient. Something with some talent damage. So I don't know. Tarachi, another fastest lap. Oh my god. Oh, Dorman, man. You're mad, man. I love it. Look at this train of cars.
I'm calling it now. Dorman's driver of the day.
Yeah, definitely. Doesn't matter what happens now.
Yeah, this driving has been...
He's on mediums, right? Against Sonny.
10 lap older mediums as well. And Sonny cannot find a way past. We say Tarachi's fighting with Gaben for this position. And Tarachi almost loses it. Oh my god. Dorman is causing such a that it's like causing passes all up and down the field.
I can see and I can hear Sonny smashing his table. He wants to get past Dorman, but now he's fighting with Gaben. What's going on there?
Again, Sonny looking around the outside of Dorman, and Dorman's just gone, no.
No. Look at this.
Sonny's just forcibly sending it up the inside.
That was rude. That
was very rude. Gaben's lost it!
Oh no, Gaben.
Oh no.
He wanted to collect Dorman as well. Dorman also dropping back. No, he's still my driver of the day. Still,
Yeah.
just unlucky turn of events. Now down in P11, our guy. Sad.
Sonny sending it up the inside, forcing Crispy
Touching wheels.
across the track. And this is
Yeah,
some
that's
incredibly rude. As Crispy picks up a penalty, Sonny is in position to win this race.
It looked like Sonny forced him off track, so I don't know if that should hold on. Final lap, Sonny just not only his elbows, he's bringing the whole arsenal of weapons out here. Like, come on. P2, he's looking for Macca here. Well, he forced Crispy off, he forced Dorman off, he bumped into Dorman like 3-4 times, causing Dorman to drop back. He forced Crispy off track, so he gets time penalty. And with the looks of it, unless a miracle happens here, Sonny gets the win.
Without sounding any bias, I would not be very happy against racing with Sonny for this. This was
not
some very, let's say, unsavory driving.
Yeah, this was not okay. We saw some interesting battles, some fair battles right early in the race.
Yeah.
But this ain't it.
Sonny is about to come across the line and take his win, assuming pending any stewarding decisions, but that was...
But for now...
Shadow jumps up into P3 with...
Oh my god.
Crispy. Oh, that
cost him so much. That cost him so much. But for now, Sonny wins the British Grand Prix ahead of Macca and ahead of Shadowhopper. Dark horse. I did not expect him in P3. You said he's sometimes able to pull that off. Driver of the day, Codemaster says Shadowhopper. I think I'll speak for both of us when I say driver of the day for us is Dorman.
Yeah, definitely. I've not seen
Sonny handing out copies of the game like the game handed out penalties for our drivers. I think in the end it was like 11 or 12 drivers with some time penalties. So I'm not sure about that.
That was... It was a disappointing way to end what, in my opinion, was a great race.
It was a really great race. Like, very clean, elbows out, but you don't bring a gun to a knife fight. It's just unfair.
So that is our final podium of Sonny, Macca, and Shadowhopper. It's great to see Shadowhopper getting up there, and as far as I'm aware, this might be his first podium. I could be wrong.
Could be wrong, and definitely first podium done in a while, and we're happy for him. Good race, under the radar again, just like in qualifying, silent guy. But congrats, Crispy P4, very close. Glenn and Hodgson, the Ferrari duo, ahead of the McLaren tandem of Carlos and Copy. But yeah, that concludes the British Grand Prix, Alex.
Yeah, I've enjoyed casting it with you. Thanks for production for having me along, even though it's such short notice. With my entire racing rig just exploding.
I will not make any gay jokes. All right, yeah, thanks, that's it. Also, thanks, I don't know, who do we thank? Because usually we're both like stand-in casters, Alex, so I don't know. Thanks to production, thanks for all the viewers tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm curious what the stewards will do after the last turn of events. Other than that, hopefully catch you next week for some more Valence League Formula 1 racing.